Hi, I'm James from Wheel, and you are at ROCKFLESH.com.
So, welcome once again to ROCKFLESH.com, coming from Radar Festival in Manchester, and we have Santeri and James from the awesome Wheel.
Hello.
So happy that you guys are playing this festival. So happy that you guys
it's great to be here.
Yeah, exactly. Are you kind of tying this up with some other dates at all, or
No,
is this literally just bombing it across?
Pretty much bombing it across for this festival. Like we're pretty tied up writing our third album, and it's still not finished because it takes freaking forever. But we have lots of instrumentals that are mostly done with no vocals, which happens every freaking time. And we're
Well, I mean, whose fault's that?
It's mine always. It's just the way it goes. Like you know, we're not going to get into that now, but yeah, it's a consistent problem, let's just say that, and it's always my fault, and here we are again. That's the short version.
You've almost answered a series of questions that I think I was going to ask, basically. Was kind of like, well, what are you up to? What about the next album? What about the writing process? So I get the writing process then, is it fairly kind of like organic with you guys all in a room coming out with the instrumentals and then
not too much.
No vocals, or is it kind of like each in your own rooms, adding bits and bobs?
It's mostly happening in James's home studio, and then we kind of work in our own studios, and sometimes at the rehearsal place, but that's kind of a special. So, but it's coming together nicely, and it's going to be a great album.
So he's writing something that you feel you have to concentrate specifically on, or is it something that you kind of dip into while you're touring, or like, do you like to keep the stuff very separate?
I always think of it as two separate parts. Like there's idea generation, and then there's kind of the assembly bit where you try and fit all these things together, work out transitions and arrangement, whatever. So for idea generation, I think a lot of that comes from the road. Like for the last album, for Dissipating, the clean intro section, I wrote all of that in a hotel in Istanbul. It was a very tense, weird time when our first bassist was leaving, and just that's what came out, and we didn't end up changing that really at all. That just stayed the same. And other times it's all just built at home from the ground up, and we've got lots and lots of bits and pieces, and we've gone through and catalogued them in a kind of organised. I mean, organised is too strong a word. But they're in folders. Some of them have names.
Organised chaos.
Exactly that.
Some have names. Some just have new folder 1, new folder 2.
I mean, you really are way too close to the mark for my liking.
Brilliant.
But yeah, I mean, I'm still doing the bulk of it, and but we're trying to transition and move forward for the next record. But at least with the timetable this time around, somebody's been doing a lot of the tour management for our upcoming US tour with Vola, and that has taken a lot more time than we anticipated, like it always does.
As always, yeah.
So all these bits and bobs add up, don't they?
That's it, yeah.
And we've all got our roles, so at least at the moment I've been focused on kind of hamming out the bulk of the structure and arrangements for the upcoming music, and someday we'll take what I've done, and no doubt there'll be a couple of bits you keep, and you'll change everything else to be far, far better, like you've done on all the other records, so we'll get there.
Hopefully, yeah, let's see.
So I guess we'll kind of say as the consistent members of the band, do you feel that it's kind of like very much, how has that affected the kind of like change around in like the rest of the band membership, the evolution of your sound?
I think you asked it very politely. I think, to be honest, it's difficult to have to keep going through this process because I mean it is like a relationship, and you really mourn the loss of it, especially when at the moment Aki's leaving, and we love the guy, he's awesome.
Last gig with you?
Yeah, exactly, today, and it was really hard seeing him go, but he's been finding it difficult being away from his family for the past few tours, and it just became apparent at the beginning of the summer that it didn't work anymore, and you get one life. I don't want to punish him and make him feel like he's got to do this. It's supposed to be something you love. And I can just tell that his priorities have shifted, and he feels the same way. There's no bad blood at all between us. But yeah, it does change things every time. Like at the moment, we're not totally sure what we're going to do with a future bass player. Like we have cover for all of our upcoming shows, and we've got something to play on the album, which we'll talk about more soon. But at least for the future, for once we can kind of take our time with it and not rush into anything. So when we get back from the studio in October, we're just going to really start digging into that and working out what we want and what our options are. But it's difficult, and it's really reshaped the chemistry. Like I've been consistently writing the bulk of the material, and Santeri's been very active with the drum writing. But in the past we've had members who are more into that and less, but consistently it's been me writing about 90% of it. And I'd still love to change that. Like we're really thinking, we've got a plan already for album 4 where Santeri and I are going to work a bit more closely together for producing the core ideas and building it up. So yeah, it's difficult changing members all the time, but I think it's a real testament to how difficult the job is doing, especially the kind of music we're doing. It's we've put a huge amount of money into the company. We're away from our families at home a lot, and we're doing something fundamentally difficult. Like I didn't understand how many professional metal bands don't write their own music. I had no freaking idea until we started doing it and meeting some of the groups. So again, like this is not judgmental at all. But we're doing all of this in-house, and it's a massive undertaking every time. So I do get why it's not for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we saw that quite a bit, especially with the pandemic. Coming out of the pandemic, a lot of bands, a lot of the bands that we follow quite closely with ROCKFLESH, they're kind of like the front men were leaving bands, guitarists leaving here, there, and everything. They're like kind of reevaluating their lives, as it were, coming out of the pandemic. And I think people sometimes do just see the end product on the stage, and they're like, oh well, they seem to just be going through it, they're enjoying it, this is good, oh what a life kind of thing. But it's the work behind the scenes in every single aspect.
95% something else.
Yes, exactly.
At least.
I always ask, when you're out on tour, do you manage to get to see the places you're at very much, or is it almost usually the way that it's logistics, it's whistle stop tour kind of thing?
Yeah, not really. There's not usually not much time to do any sightseeing or anything.
It's not as glamorous as people make out.
Depending a little bit. Yeah. In the US, we went to see the Grand Canyon because it was basically on the way. We played in Buffalo, so we went to the Niagara Falls.
Awesome.
Small stuff like that, but you see kind of 2 or 3 things in 4 weeks. So
exactly.
Usually you see the backyard of the venue, and that's it.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
I think we said that we were speaking with Victor from Resolve, and he was like, I've played Rebellion in Manchester something like 3 or 4 times in the past couple of years. He goes, I've not seen anything else in Manchester apart from Rebellion. I was like, dude, that's really sad, to be honest. Like, we need to take you out, at least go to McDonald's around the corner or something, But yeah, I think Niagara Falls and Grand Canyon, we don't have those in Manchester, so
it's fair.
We don't even have the equivalent, I don't think.
So behind the buildings I saw the Old Trafford Stadium.
Yes.
So I've seen it.
There you go. Probably the best.
You've done better than I did. I've been to the hotel.
You saw the hotel.
Yeah. Rubbish.
You did at a hotel, you weren't bothered with the stadium.
Well, it's not so much being bothered. Like I've been doing the album so much. On the second flight we took, I just started thinking, I'm so freaking tired. I've just got to go to bed. So I thought I wanted to be ready for today, and I slept a lot, and now it's fucking rock. Let's do it.
So ready. Ready. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, let's do some more silly questions. Actually, we asked a question of monuments yesterday. I thought most people would have asked monuments what their favourite monument was, and apparently they've never been asked that before. So yeah, well, let's mix up and mash together some of the questions we do. Okay, if Wheel were a monument, what monument would you be and why? You don't have to have been there, by the way.
I'm going to
go
go with the Grand Canyon. I think it would be the Washington Monument, just because of how phallic it is. I think that speaks to me. I think,
Right, the way you've gone for Washington, not like Cleopatra's Needle or something like that. You've gone full on.
First one I've got in my head.
It says it all. As we say, we're not that kind of website, but it says it all.
You're saying that now.
Yeah, exactly, but I don't know. Excellent. It's a good answer. Okay, well, the other question that we have to do, if you were a drink, if the band was a drink, alcoholic or non-alcoholic, what drink would you be?
I think probably a non-alcohol beer, because we're all extremely boring these days, and But basically,
let's say low alcohol. Low alcohol.
Low alcohol. There we go.
That's a bit more dangerous.
Yeah. There's just
like 2%.
Slight lottery, slight roulette.
Still tastes like piss, but you know, if you drink 20 of them, you get slightly drunk.
Yeah, or at
Like,
least if you're extremely bloated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Need to go to the
I've got
toilet
that
all the
beautiful
time.
glow still without the alcohol content.
Exactly. Something like that. Yeah. Depends on the day, of course. Sometimes we are more like a Jägermeister or something.
Yeah.
Sometimes we are water.
There we go. Well, see, I didn't know what you were drinking actually.
But
It's
we
the
were-
liquid death.
To be honest, I had another water and I was told not to drink it because this was an endorsement for another interview we did. So now I'm drinking. This is pretty metal. I've got to be honest. I'm in with the branding.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
It's pretty good.
Good logo.
I mean, I thought you just had some like kind of corner shop, 9% lager or something there, Sorry, but never mind.
I don't drink those when the camera's on.
Yeah, exactly. If there was a biopic film of a band, who would play each of you?
What's the guy's name who people keep telling me I look like?
Tim Roth.
Tim Roth.
Yeah.
I was going to say Tim Roth.
It
Exactly,
freaks
there
me
we go.
out. I was in Amsterdam a few years ago, actually with my wife, and we were in an innocuous cafe doing nothing that's illegal in the UK. And a couple sat opposite us, and about 20 minutes into us being there, just said, "Excuse me, are you this guy?" And it freaks me out so much because I've never seen this guy's picture. I was like, "Fuck that. Is that me?"
Is it?
So
I don't know. Is that...
I think Tim Roth would have to play me.
Excellent.
Brad Pitt, obviously.
Obviously.
But I couldn't tell you two apart.
I did want to question that, to be honest. That's really tempting.
I would choose Johnny Depp 15 years ago.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. And we don't have a bassist, so.
Well,
that's
but
it.
you go Steve Harris.
Yeah, of course.
With that majestic hair.
Yeah.
Wheelfest. So Wheel Festival, who would you have playing at Wheelfest? And you can also have a Q&A tent with anyone you want.
Okay.
And as we say, they can be live or dead. But as we always say as well, the live ones usually perform better. So,
I mean, you definitely affected my answers now.
Yeah.
I think,
what were you going to pick? Dead people.
I mean, I think some of them would have been.
Yeah.
Now I think Carnival is a no-brainer. They're amazing. We love those guys.
Yeah.
I think the Intersphere, this German band with Super Rinsu, they're fantastic. They'd have to come and play.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, why not? Nirvana,
Yeah.
Radiohead, Alice in Chains.
Yeah. Good picks. Yeah.
So it always feels difficult. Like, first like, well, who? And then you get going. Yeah, and then it's like, right, we need more stages that are themed, and
Well, you did say it's a festival,
Exactly.
We've got some stages to fill, so.
Q&A doesn't have to be music related. Q&A. We often people often go with football managers and that kind of thing, randomly. But anyone? Johnny Depp. I know you could have Johnny Depp asking questions of Tim Roth.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think we're making that happen. ROCKFLESH Festival's going to have that.
It's a lot more interesting than what I
We could just have you two asking each other questions and no one would know the difference.
Yeah, you can go now.
Exactly. So, moving forward, working on the album, sorting all the kind of bass player duties out, all that kind of thing. So you've got a busy time ahead, but you've got it all planned.
Yeah, we're going to be all right. I mean, to be honest, as kind of chaotic as it all is, this is nowhere near as bad as it's been. Like during the pandemic, when we made Resident Human, like the stress level was just insane. I burned out like during that process. It really sucks, and we were fighting each other, and the whole world felt like it was ending. So compared to that, this all feels quite tame. Like we're here playing a gig, the weather's nice, can't complain.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think that's a good way forward. Are you looking forward to kind of like being more integrated with the writing process for the fourth album?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Is it something you asked him to do, or you asked to do, or you just together?
We've been talking about it for
years.
We just didn't really have the opportunity to do that. So
it's always been a necessity. Like, I mean, I get how it looks because it looks like I'm an utter control freak with this, but just from the start, I've been like, let's do these collaborative albums, and then reality hits, a deadline happens, and we just got to make something. So shit, better do this. And because I keep doing it, I get better at it, and I get asked to do it more, and years roll by. And
actually, you get the consistency in the sound of it. I think, we always say the best bands are the bands where you hear the song and you go, I know it's that band. So you hear a Will song, you know it's Will. It's just as simple as that. I mean, it is your vocals, but it's also the song structures, the way that, you know, the kind of production values, everything, you know,
Thank
about
you, man.
it.
We appreciate it.
It's, you know, and as well, it's just different. It's different. I know, like, obviously, bands that we love, like The Ocean, Carnival, etc., you know, all in the same kind of house, but you all sound slightly different and unique, and that's what we love. So thank you, and thank you for just like sticking at it as well. From our point of view, you know, it's
we're going to keep at it. I mean, we're very invested in it, and to be honest, I don't know what else I'd do. Like, this is just such a like other jobs, I think.
Tim Roth in person, mate.
Well, exactly.
You could, at a Comic-Con down the road, you could just like turn up, charge for autographs.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
Well, you can
I'll
fit
take
in
a
tonight.
cut. I mean,
I can manage you.
yeah, exactly.
We have a plan.
So there was always a plan B. So yeah. But yeah, no, excellent, and thank you for spending some time with us. And
Thanks so much.
enjoy the set later.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. I know it'll be emotional.
Thanks,
But,
Yeah, I think it will.
But,
so much
it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Cool.
Totally.
Excellent. So that's been Will. We've been ROCKFLESH. Make sure you go along to the site for photos from their set, the review of the set, and the whole weekend at Radar Festival. Thanks very much.
Buy our merch.
Cheers.